As our players have finished their vetoes and we are diving into game number 1.
That we are here on Jagannatha LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spotting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the blue Zerg player coming out from Hong Kong, representing himself. He is GogojOey.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the teamless Protoss. He is red, representing himself. It is ButAlways. Getting 12 pulled.
What more could we want here from GogojOey? We talk about him a lot as being the aggressive Zerg player, but man, I did not expect him to come right out of floodgates this early.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know what it is about Jagannatha. I guess it's because of the speed zones, but we've seen this quite a bit. Even today, Demi did the exact same thing against Probe. Demi was even able to kill the Cyber Core when he did go for his 12 full. But he also committed to a lot more lings. I believe he committed to 10 lings in total. So far, we have 6. We'll see if GogojOey keeps pumping them out or just turns up behind this.
Well, it's all going to be based on whatever opportunity he can find. An immediate probe scout coming in from ButAlways. And that's going to completely shift how GogojOey plays this out. You know, I think we see a lot of Zerg players say, you know what, I got scouted. I'm just going to stick with the initial 8 or the initial 6 and then transition to something else. He's actually keeping a couple of him here because he really wants to get a natural expansion up.
Yeah, exactly. But always being very annoying with that pylon block. The rest of the links are headed across the map, trying to see what damage they can get done. The Cyber Core is off to the side. The Zealot was chronoed out. We even have a probe here just to back him up.
I'll see what he can get done. The second Zealot is already on the way, but ButAlways is being very, very active with his current one.
Definitely. As there are 10 lings out on the map, we'll see if GogojOey can try and take down this Cyber Core. So far, ButAlways is doing a pretty good job. And now he has 2 Zealots.
Yeah, he can definitely take a lot more risk of it. That's not good though. Swipe away at his own sort of gateway. I will say though, there's very little surface area on this Cyber Core. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but it's working out a heck of a lot better for him.
Yeah, and you know what? In a couple of seconds, the Adept will come out. The Adept will be able to force all these things away. The Cyber Core stays alive, and so far, so does the Zealots.
Whoa.
Oh.
You know, I expect at least one of them to go down, especially with how isolated the wounded Zealot was.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, the defense here was beautiful by ButAlways. Also, I wanted to touch on what you just said about how, like, GogojOey, he was scouted, but he was still kind of committed to it. Something crazy that happened, we casted Ranger versus Ender earlier today. Ender 12 pulled Ranger. Ranger scouted it, so Ender just made drones.
Might as well, yeah. Mind games.
He lost that game, by the way, but I was shocked, mate. I've never seen a Zerg player go for a 12 pull and drone up. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah, I definitely have to wonder how much better just committing to the 12 pull instead of, well, I guess we have our answer, right? Ender ended up losing that game, but suppose you might as well commit. There's not a lot of defenses that a Protoss player will have that early on. You might as well just see if you can get some damage done. At the very least, force them to make a couple of Zealots you don't want to make.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's at the very least. Meanwhile, GogojOey does go in with his Overlord. It looks like he's trying to scout his opponent. The Stalker will show up, try and deny this, but it looks like it is too late, and the Stargate is scouted.
Yeah, all that Stalker's really doing from that angle is pushing that Overlord towards the Stargate. Which is what just about everyone would expect, but there we go, the Fleet Beacon immediately following that up. This is what I want to see from ButAlways.
Hey.
He's not just your standard Stargate Protoss player.
Exactly. Okay, so this is getting spicy. Again, the last time we casted ButAlways was last season in Dreamhack Winter. It was, of course, on Eternal Empire. I will always remember ButAlways going for, he went mass Oracle into mass.
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe it was Void Ray at the time, and then eventually he got some Tempest out.
I think it was Oracle into Phoenix into Void Ray, or like
possibly.
He forced certain reactions out of his opponent. I think he went Oracle, which forced like mutas, and then he went Phoenixes to counter the mutas, and then he went Corruptors. Sorry, Void Rays to counter the Corruptors. It was crazy. It was insane. We'll have to double check that, but yeah, we see ButAlways committing to a Tempest But what's crazy is this is off of 1 Stargate.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the whole he's doing it light, but he is not actually fully committing to the Tempest play over here. Normally we see Protoss players, they do go for the double Stargate into a quick fleet beacon. ButAlways, immediately after getting that Tempest, gets his Twilight Council, gets his Forge. He wants GogojOey to think that he's going to be sieging him up. He wants GogojOey to get some Corruptors out.
Yeah, like, this is intriguing, right? Like, ButAlways, he's doing his own thing. We were talking about it. We've seen players like Parting and Zest and Paco Mike and plenty of others go for a very fast fleet beacon into very fast Tempest. But usually that's off of double Stargate. And usually they get a couple of Void Rays out first and then switch it into Tempest pretty quickly. But this is just completely unique here, as far as I can tell, from ButAlways. Maybe Haas does this as well. Maybe this is a little bit more common in the Taiwanese scene. But GogojOey has no idea that this is coming, and he won't know until this Tempest comes out.
It's actually pretty soon, but when you see a Tempest out, normally you're thinking, that can't just be one Tempest.
Yep.
What are they gonna do with just one Tempest? And that's why this is so useful.
Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, so the Tempest does reveal itself, immediately a Spire goes down. But what's insane is that ButAlways, he isn't committing to Tempest at all. Like, it's only 2 Tempests. Like, it's barely anything, and he's forcing GogojOey to react.
Yeah, immediately after that, we see a massive gateway explosion coming out from ButAlways 5 at the moment. It's going to be a whole lot more beyond this. He's actually going for Blink Stalkers, which is kind of interesting, but again, he's anticipating GogojOey to get Corruptors as a response to these Tempests.
Yes.
You want that anti-air as well as the Blink potential. Ooh, that's a little unfortunate losing one Tempest right off the bat.
That's not ideal at all. Again, you want to keep these Tempests alive. You want to force GogojOey to make Corruptors. That's the goal here. That's the end goal here for these Tempests. And so far, it hasn't worked. I mean, the Spire is about to finish up. We'll see if GogojOey does commit to the Corruptors.
Yeah, we'll see if he takes the bait or not, or if he's gonna have his cake and eat it too.
We'll see.
Sense, because these queens are doing a really good job of the defense when it comes to anti-air.
Exactly, and oh my god, I love this. So the Spire is done. We do not see Corruptors, we see Mutas. I feel like GogojOey has really sussed this out. I mean, he sees the armies coming across the map. This is still dangerous. GogojOey did commit a lot to those Mutas.
Yeah, Mutas are definitely an interesting choice when you're up against Stalkers like this, but GogojOey will have some potential to go for a harass after this initial wave. He's getting a lot of Roaches behind us, which again is not exactly the counter to Stalkers here, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, definitely. At the same time, he's going for a bit of a run by. There is stack defense here, does warping down home defensively. At the same time, here come the Blink Stalkers immediately looking to take down this hatchery.
And there are so many of them. The Mutalists immediately pounce on top of the Tempest. GogojOey will not have to worry about anti-air for a while here. Will end up losing the hatchery, but I don't think ButAlways wants to go too much further. He sees the Ravagers, he sees the Spine Crawlers. Unfortunately, GogojOey misses his Warp Prism with his Mutas.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. Regardless, he's going across the map. Yo, there's no side defense in the main base whatsoever. Damage will be done.
And it will. Best case scenario, he forces a recall after the probes go down, but we'll see what GogojOey can pull off here. He's chasing these Stalkers back.
Oh god, that he is. Yeah, and if he pushes him back to the Warp Prism, then that Warp Prism is under threat. The Biles do land.
Unable to prevent another Warpin from coming in, but ButAlways has no more sustainability with this push. 20 probes going down in the main base. He is trying to make another Warp Prism over there, right on top of the Mutas.
Exactly. I mean,
still gaining ground.
These Mutas have done so much damage, potentially game-ending damage, but the problem is that ButAlways is not stopping. He's trying to end the game. He is potentially all in here, almost at half the worker count.
The only thing he's focusing on right now, Light, is that Blink Stalker control, and he's doing a pretty damn good job of it. Not losing, I believe only losing one Stalker in that final engagement.
But you know what? These Mutas are still alive, and he did not push off the ramp. He couldn't break the defensive position of GogojOey, and now ButAlways is in a terrible position. The Mutas, oh my god, no, they're gonna be picked off.
They would be picked off if only Stalkers had splash damage.
If only. But now the Warp Prism is out. So we have mass Stalkers here, mass Warping as well of Zealots. ButAlways, he's looking to once again to push up this ramp.
And will he succeed? He has a lot more reinforcement potential here with the Warp Prism still around. Mutalists still trying to get whatever they can get done. If he can depower all these gateways, that is going to be massive right now. Completely stop ButAlways in his tracks. Just needs to survive till then. He has his 4th base if he needs it.
That he does. He did expand towards the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, ButAlways is trying to push on forward. One of the spines earlier did get picked off. Only one spine remaining. And it gets picked up.
Was remaining, yeah. Pretty decent concave coming out from GogojOey, but the range of the Stalkers is incredible right now. Firing one behind another, and again, this blink control light.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, it's beautiful here from ButAlways. ButAlways is trading so well, but GogojOey is forcing him back, again, exposing that Warp Prism. And there's the Biles.
Will it land? And it will! Just enough Biles to take out that Warp Prism. GG is called, and GogojOey takes game number 1.
Oof, GG, well played. We were so worried for GogojOey. GogojOey himself was concerned. He was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to fight Beastlord in the elimination match." And yeah. And I mean, to be fair, with good reason, ButAlways comes out with this crazy build, going for Tempest off of 1 Stargate. Didn't work though, but it was crazy.
Yeah, we can put another variation of Tempest builds that didn't quite work in PvZ.
I haven't even seen the double Stargate version work, mate. It just doesn't. Oh my god. Yeah. Meanwhile, we are getting ready for game number 2. Before then, though, we will go on a short break.
We'll see you then. And we are back after a pretty odd game number one, I have to say. Even GogojOey here in our lobby is saying that was a fun build, mate. You should do it again.
He's like, yo, that was great. But always is like, mate, strong race. Zerned. Oh, god. That was...
These guys.
I mean, honestly, like, I love that ButAlways just does his own thing. Whether it works or it doesn't, like, it's great about him.
Oh, yeah, he marches to the beat of his own drum every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see which beat that's going to be here in game number 2 on Lightshade LE. We're in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the blue Zerg player coming up from Hong Kong once again, up 1-0 in this best of 3. He is GogojOey.
Yep. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. He is red, representing himself. It is ButAlways.
I'm honestly a little surprised Gojo would go for the same build twice in a row.
Yeah, I have to imagine it's just what he's comfortable with, right? In case he's getting proxied, or so he can just keep his opponent on the back foot and just mess up his opponent's build order at the beginning of the game, at least. Again, it's not like it really dealt any much damage at all last game, if you recall. Just forced some zealots to be made, just forced some extra pylons maybe, and that's kind of it. That's what it has to do.
Yeah, I suppose GogojOey is, in general, a player who likes to control the pace of the game, although we're usually... I think we're used to GogojOey doing that when we get into the mid-game stage, right? After he gets his initial tech, whether it be a roach run or what have you. This is GogojOey sort of evolving and saying, I'm going to control the pace right from the beginning.
Exactly. I'm going to force you to play how I want you to play. As he does get his hatchery down, he's sending his links across the map. Meanwhile, the probe does go in just to make sure that there is a hatchery. You know, there's no all-in or anything crazy going on.
Yeah, don't want to be pulling a bit of an ender here.
Exactly.
I don't think that applies, but...
not really, but, you know, it's fine,
Links coming in once again. It's interesting how ButAlways always likes being a little aggressive with the zealots over here, but he knows how to be very, very careful with them. He knows how to make them count.
That he does.
Not gonna just randomly get these zealots surrounded.
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 of them already. Ooh, meanwhile, GogojOey does lose a Ling there as he was stuck on hold position. The Cybercore is getting dangerously low.
Oh, surrounds one of these zealots just as we were talking about it, Light.
Ooh, yo, both?
And the other one both? He could potentially lose both of them, and that is actually kind of big. 2 minerals taken out just like so. Obviously, you'd rather lose the zealots than the Cybercore, but still. That's an investment ButAlways didn't want to make in the first place, and now it's not really working out for him.
Yeah, it does really have an effect. Meanwhile, there's still a Ling here slowly chipping away at this shield battery, just being very annoying. Meanwhile, ButAlways does go across the map with both of his adepts, looking to try and find some drone damage. Thankfully for GogojOey, there aren't any drones here, at the natural least.
Life hacks.
Yeah, exactly. You don't lose drones if you don't have drones.
Ease moan. That's how you can tell GogojOey's been learning from me and Micah.
Exactly. Yeah, hopefully not too much. Me and Micah did lose this series.
Yeah, still staying a little bit dedicated to those Lings, made about 10 of them, but those were just for defense. He is starting to drone up now after the adept threat has been dealt with.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we have plenty of queens to ward away the adepts. We even have an extra wave of Lings just in case the adepts did shade into the main base. And we are moving on to a more standard game from here. I say standard as ButAlways not opening up with the Stargate.
Yeah, he gets a robo facility. He doesn't get a Twilight Council here, Light. I'm feeling unupgraded stalkers.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same. I imagine we're going to see maybe an Observer first and then a Warp Prism. We have seen some Protoss players be pretty aggressive even without the Twilight Council with Gateway units. It can really catch your opponent off guard because they don't really expect it coming anytime soon because it does hit a little bit faster. So yeah, there we go. Warp Prism.
Immediately coming out here. And as we were saying, the added benefit for the Protoss player here, it hits a lot quicker. But for the Zerg player, you don't have to worry about Blink for quite some time. It can be a bit easier to get some rounds on top of these stalkers, so it's all about the positioning here for GogojOey. Immediately follows that up with a Robo Bay.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, so the Overlord did scout the Robo. That is why GogojOey responded with his own Roach Warren. Like, he's going to be pumping out units to defend. He knows there's going to be some aggression coming out here from ButAlways, but GogojOey has not seen that Robotics Bay. And I have to assume that this is to go into Disruptor, right?
I think that would be the sensible thing. I think that would be what most Protoss players do, which is why I think ButAlways might actually go for a Colossus here. If you think about it, what is the weakness for non-Blink Stalkers? Lings. And what is the weakness to Lings? Colossus. Okay, but ButAlways hasn't completely lost his mind, so we're fine.
Exactly. He is still sane in some capacity, so we do have that Disruptor on the way. For now, yeah, ButAlways is being aggressive with his gateway units. Whenever he wants, he can go back home, pick up 1 or 2 Disruptors as they get produced.
And I wonder if he's just gonna get some Warp Prism speed here and be dedicated to the Disruptor harass, or if that's mostly for defense or even part of a main army.
Yeah,
these Roaches coming out now.
Yeah, the Roaches are able to clean up the Adepts. Those 2 Adepts only dealt a little bit of damage. 3 drones go down in total. Meanwhile, the Warp Prism does go back home, and yo, Extended Thermal Lance is on the way.
I told you, Light. I told you. He has no Twilight Council here. He does not want to get Blink at all. He doesn't want to get Glaives of the Adepts.
Oh my god.
Beautiful Purification Nova.
Exactly. We talk about it all the time. Roach Ravager has a really hard time splitting against these Disruptors, as we saw 3 Roaches go down immediately. And without those 3 Roaches, mate, ButAlways, he can defend his third base perfectly fine.
Yeah, 6 is definitely a lot worse to deal with when it comes to Roaches than 3 are.
Definitely. And now the push has been deterred, and we have 2 Disruptors in this Warp Prism. ButAlways can be aggressive, and he does immediately go out across the map.
As well at this point, really. Even if he doesn't get much drone damage, then just keeping the amount of Roaches back is going to be a massive help.
Ooh, and it does damage the Queen. Does also take down the Creep Trimmer. Nicely done there by ButAlways. Is we going to go into the main? He's going
to try to GogojOey start to position himself a bit. SimCity working against ButAlways here, but the pull was just a second too late for GogojOey.
Mate, already so much damage being done. 8 drones go down. At the same time, GogojOey, he's trying to be a little bit aggressive with these things, try to find some kind of value here, but he is pushed away by the Colossus. At least he scouts it. Oh.
Yeah, he know. Oh. Taking out a Sentry, especially one with that much energy, is absolute value coming out. But I do worry, this is not the best army that GogojOey has here. This is not the best defensive force. But always, he just needs 1 good Purification Nova. Yeah,
and he's got 2 available to him, and this is terrifying. I feel like GogojOey is really lacking here. He only has 2 Ravagers.
That's not going to be enough to bow down much of anything. Not enough to really cause any havoc here. Force ButAlways to split. He does split against the Purification Novas, which is pretty nicely done, but doesn't really have an easy answer to the Colossus. I say that, but he just rushes forward of the Roaches.
That he does, and just like that, GogojOey crushes this attack force. He even gets on top of the Disruptors. One of them does go down, but we do have a reinforcing Colossus.
And that is going to be the backbone of the army for now. GogojOey has a lot of defenders advantage going his way right now.
Yeah, a couple more Roaches are just barely popping out. Same with the Queens, but again, there's still so much power with this Colossus. At the same time, we did have a little bit of a Ling run by, no mining here at the third base of ButAlways. Not the biggest of deals, but again, the longer ButAlways takes, the better it is for GogojOey. Oh!
Absolutely is. Really good split coming out here. Yeah, not losing much of anything. Only 1 force field out right now, and it will be dealt with the Ravager Biles. And GogojOey is really starting to gain ground over here. He's fighting pretty far off creep, but I mean, considering that it's a Stalker Colossus army for the most part.
Yeah, honestly,
he can definitely afford to for now.
GogojOey is trading so well here at the moment. He does need a couple more Ravagers, morphing in 1 additional one. Another Disruptor, mate. ButAlways hasn't landed a Disruptor shot since the one in the mineral line. Like, he just hasn't been able to do it.
He's used up all his focus with that 1 Purification Nova, and now it's down smash to save it right at the last second here, but does take it out of commission. Again, this is the only Disruptor available for ButAlways at the moment. It's the only thing really keeping GogojOey on his toes.
Yeah, and you know what? That one lane kill the pilot is it's killing the Nexus, mate. It's happening.
Now, when you said a bit of a Ling run by earlier on, I literally thought, yeah, a little Ling ran by here.
Mate, this Ling is a champion. Look at how much damage is done to the shields of this. No! F's in the chat.
Sometime.
Yeah, feels bad, man. Oh my god.
But that was so much less mining time, though.
Yeah, and you know what? GogojOey was trading so well there throughout the entire fight, you know, taking down Disruptors, taking down Colossus whenever he could, and all he was doing was trading Red Ravager. His economy was left perfectly untouched. Oh.
Yeah, if you look at the US lost tab, the amount of gas ButAlways has lost compared to GogojOey is absolutely massive. He does need to start working on his expansion, so GogojOey does.
This is true.
3 hatchery Zerg player against a 3 Nexus Protoss.
Yeah, GogojOey, he needs a 4th. He needed a 4th a while ago now. He's going across the map. Ooh, he runs into the main army, loses a lot of Lings. At the same time, we have a Roach run by, hitting the mineral line of this 3rd.
If he sandwich this army, it's going to be massive, but GogojOey just a little too out of position here.
Oh, yeah,
trying to go for some multi-prongs, but ButAlways is super vigilant.
That he is. I'm just a little bit concerned that GogojOey is tunnel visioning a little bit too much. There we go. Finally, the 4th base is on the way. It's honestly very late. Part of me wants him to double expand at this point. I don't know, but he will eventually catch up. Meanwhile, another Disruptor shot. Oh god! Oh!
Surprisingly, only taking out the Morphing Ravager.
Yeah. Yo, GogojOey, he's got the splits.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Every single time.
Exactly.
And I have to agree with what you said earlier on. I feel like GogojOey might as well go for a double expansion. He knows that ButAlways isn't really going to be able to do much damage down south.
Exactly. I'm still waiting for an answer to this War Prism, by the way. Like, GogojOey has very limited anti-air. It's just Queens at the moment. He hasn't teched into Spire or Hydras, and that scares me a little bit, because ideally, oh my god, as another Disruptor goes off, oh god! It gets picked off.
The Disruptor does get sniped before, yeah.
Oh my god. And meanwhile, the Link run by the Disruptors! Ah!
I try to go for the Disruptors there, but do not want to tangle the Colossus for too long. And I get what you're saying about an answer to the Warp Prism. And you mentioned Hydras or maybe Corruptors. I raised you one better, like Infestors.
Well, I was about to say that, I mean, ideally when you go for Hydras, and again, because of this army, this Protoss army is so ground focused, mate, Hydras into Lurkers. Like, you will do so well against this. Right now, it feels like GogojOey is struggling a little bit with this Roach Ravager. Like, it still feels relatively close here.
Absolutely does, and it really shouldn't at this point for the Zerg player. A couple more Purification Noahs trying to get out. A lot of Queens in a lot of trouble right now.
Oh my god. I love
it. Right in the heat of battle, trying to spread creep.
Yeah, and in the middle of all this, another massive Ling run by. This time the Nexus may fall. There's nothing to defend it. It goes down.
And it will end up going down, and we were super worried for GogojOey here not getting much expansions out, but ButAlways has stuck to 3 bases for the longest time as well. Now he's back. Now he's down to 2 bases.
Yeah, GogojOey, he's fine on 4. Exactly. Yo, at this point, ButAlways is all in. Like, he's stuck on 2 bases at this stage of the game. Like, I mean, you gotta go now or never. And as the game goes on, like, Baneling Speed just finished up. We got +1 melee. We got nothing but Lings. GogojOey, he's about to max out.
Just like so. With one more drone on the way. Meanwhile, getting a 5th base coming out right here. ButAlways is playing this out very patient. He doesn't want to run too deep into creep. And GogojOey is giving him a little bit of time. This run by will eventually get cleaned out, but here comes the surround! Purification Nova will get a couple of Ravages, but that is not really what's important here. The Baneling's not getting the best connections, I gotta say. But the concave is real.
Exactly. Beautiful concave there. Almost full surround by GogojOey. He just collapses on everything Protoss here. GG gets called.
GG is called!